Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis, man. I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. If it's your first time to the channel, please do me a huge favor, hit the like and subscribe button, man. Let's get straight into it. This is the ATP Network. If this is your guys' first time tuning in, welcome, man. This is everything overseas basketball. I created this network for the guys who want to play basketball one day overseas and they don't know where to start. Well, you're going to get everything here. You're going to get everything of the overseas life perspective. Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go. From yours truly. Like I said, man, if your hopes and dreams of being a pro one day is something you never really put a lot of thought into. Because as I was coming up, I could be honest, being a pro was never really something I really thought I was going to be able to achieve as far as overseas basketball, because it was never really a true topic. It was never really something that people really talked about and made cool. It wasn't cool talking about overseas basketball. Maybe that's because of the dawn of social media, how big it's gotten, because in my time in high school, we had MySpace. I don't know if you guys remember MySpace, but it was the MySpace era. And there weren't IG. Facebook didn't even come out until I was in college, my freshman year in college. Boy, time flies by. I say all to say this, the only interaction I ever had with a pro when it came to overseas basketball was one guy. He came into the gym one day. He used to play at my school in high school, and he played pro for about 10 years. And it just opened my eyes to a perspective of that life. But it took someone coming in and showing me that, hey, this is the life and this is another career path that you can take, not just the NBA. Because you got to think of the media. All you got to see on TV was NBA. You didn't get to see overseas life. You didn't get to really understand it, and no one's really giving game. So this network is to give game, give entertainment, give experiences from players from all walks of life. And a lot of times I come on here just to give you my perspective, because I have been in the game for over 10 years. And I just like to give a real life perspective of just things that just happen on a day-to-day basis, and just the lifestyle, my lifestyle, what I go through, just what it's really like living over here. What's it really like being a pro overseas? And a lot of times, Instagram can't really show the truth. People don't really tell the truth because they're too busy trying to send you. They're too busy trying to sell you a dream of a false perception that is not reality of what's really going on and what's really happening on a day-to-day basis. They don't tell you about things breaking, like things in your house that break that you have to cover. Or they don't tell you about how being late with your money, or they don't tell you about how you have to manage living here and also manage your lifestyle in America or whatever country you're from. Just the difference of lifestyles that you have to manage at all times. For example, I touch on this. I like to use my life as an example for a lot of this stuff. Currently, okay, so let's take it back. Back 2021, I was here in Chile. I was with a team called Puerto Varas. It was COVID season. It was the first COVID season that happened. And at this time, the league is crazy. We're getting double the nose test. They're taking the little swab, But it doesn't like the America. Like I got it tested in America, and in America they get you with the little ring around the nose, just and you done. Here, they have the whole syringe, and it's like they really testing you. They're going through both noses. It was wild. But anyway, so I'm here. I'm going through the season. I'm just trying to just adjust because there's a lot of adjustments. We're always on lockdown. We're always doing all these things. And I get a phone call one day and saying that, hey, my father died. So I had to deal with the situation with my father dying overseas. And I don't even know the amount, 10,000 miles away on another continent, trying to figure out what to do. At first, before I got a call from him the day before saying that he was sick, he wasn't feeling well. I already knew he was sick, but we couldn't find him. I'm just really making the story very short, just giving y'all the clip notes. But basically they say we couldn't find him. And then my mother called me and said someone called and said that he was in Haiti. He's originally from Haiti. I'm originally, my bloodline is Haitian. I was born in Bahamas, but my father and mother are there. My father's from Haiti. My mother's from Bahamas. So he had that lineage of Haitian bloodline. So he wanted to go back home. Basically, he wanted to go back home to pass away. He wanted to see his mother one more time before he passed away. So at this time, I'm literally in Chile, in a whole other country, trying to figure out what do I do? How do I manage this situation? How do I get on a plane to go get my father who's sick in another country and nobody's going to go get him, and wondering what's going on? Who's going to help him in this situation? I'm the oldest son. I have to figure out what I'm going to do. How am I going to sustain this, the season? Because most basketball players, overseas basketball players, once you start playing, you start getting in the groove, you realize how much, this is like a regular job for us. This is like a regular 9-to-5 job that you go home to, like working at Starbucks, for example, or working at, if you move up enough, it's just like corporate America. You start off low, and if you get good enough and you have a good resume, you can move up a little bit and get better payment and increase your pay. It's the same thing. How many people do you know at home can just say, you know what, I'm going to take off a month of work and still be good? You can't really do that. And I'm saying that because this is exactly the situations that I was in. I was in a situation where I could not take time off to not get the money that I needed to survive in life. You're still living a regular life, and you're still living a life where you got family situations going on, you got house situations going on. If you are older and you have kids, you have that type of situation going on. All these things add up over time, and you have to manage them from a distance. There's nothing, it's way more difficult to handle situations when you're 10,000 miles away. A lot of times people don't like to handle things unless you're right there in front of their face to walk them through. So I'm dealing with this situation of how do I fly to Haiti? And I'm looking up flights. They're telling me that this is a code red country. Don't go here. You don't fly here. The tickets are like $3,000-$4,000. And I'm like, whatever it takes, I got to figure out how to do this for my dad. Blah. It was a whole fiasco. Long story short, after he passed, I went and had his memorial, all that. I'm closing out his estates, closing up things that he didn't close out. Hey, if you have an island parent and they're from the back in the days, they have this mindset that's like a real, I don't know how to explain it, but their mindset are real close. They feel like my father was the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner, so everything that he did, he felt like he had to take care of everything. He had to do everything. So when he passed and his stuff wasn't in order, guess who get to feel the pain from that? His wife, my 4 little brothers. I'm grown, so it is what it is. I'm taking care of myself, but my 3 little brothers and my little sister and his stepdaughter and his wife that he left behind and his business that he didn't close. So I'm, as the oldest son, trying to take care of these things, trying to take care of like his personal things, his bank, his business, trying to figure out how do I do all these things and close off, and I have to do them from 10,000 miles away. And just recently, I've been trying to. I had to hire a lawyer. This is the part with what I'm talking about by handling real life when you're overseas. I'm literally on the phone. I literally get not an email, a letter saying you got to go to court on Thursday, and I'm like, court? Yeah, you got to go to court on Thursday because the lawyer that I hired they didn't get disbarred, but they had a disciplinary action against them. So I paid a lawyer about $5,000-$6,000 to handle this case over my dad's estates, his land, his property, his business, all this and that. And just about the time when it came for them to pass over all the things and transfer all the things over into my name, the lawyer's service got disbarred from the state that I was in. They no longer can no longer work for anybody for the next 5 years in Florida. So my case just basically just disappeared. And I had to go to court to explain this to the judge of what happened. And I've been dealing with this for 3 years since he's passed. He passed in 2021. I started this situation. It's 2024. So for 3 years, I'm going back and forth trying to deal with this stuff from here. That's what I mean when I say the real life that goes on that people aren't really talking about. Like, hey, I have to deal with a lawyer that just ran off on me, ran off on the plug, just decided to just go ghost and disappear, and I have to go to court from a phone 10,000 miles away trying to figure that out. Now I got another court date. I got to hire a judge, another lawyer to try to take care of the first one, and I just lost $6-7 grand from the last lawyer. And by the way, we're in the playoffs right now. We're going into the second round of the playoffs right now. So it just shows you the mindset that you must have when you come over here. Like, real life don't stop. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in life, and I'm just giving you just a brief snippets of just what goes on in my life at the time, because because we go and chase our dreams, we're not exempt from the responsibilities of what life throws our way. We're not exempt from our responsibilities from where we come from just because we're out here playing ball in another country and having fun and whatever the situation may be. And that's the part that nobody's really talking about too much. Like, I personally, I have not really heard too many players speak on this topic. Maybe because there were no outlets, maybe because there were no one who just say, let me just be real and just talk about how I think and what goes on in my mindset, and just trying to deal with, dealing with court situations, dealing with judges, dealing with, I'm currently building a house, dealing with building my house while being away for the first time. Doing it without one of my parents. My father was a contractor, so he definitely could have helped me in this situation, but he's gone. I got to deal with that and focus on that. And I'm not saying this also I could be like, hey, feel sorry for me. I'm just being real of what really be going on. What's the real mindset, like what you really have to prepare yourself. I'm basically saying this is life. Life is going to happen no matter what, at all times, no matter where you at. Even as a pro basketball player, you have to understand that life is going to come, it's going to shake you down, it's going to stir you up. And even though this situation happened so long ago, I just found myself like just breaking down for a while, because it just brings back the reality. Dang, my dad's not here. Dang, I got to keep going through this. This is just such a hassle. It's just like the little hassle of going through and doing these things, and the roadblocks of it being like, I got to do this from all the way over here. And it just gets prolonged, and it's just the drag. And it's like, and I still got to focus because I'm in the second round of the playoffs. I got to stay mentally prepared. I get a phone call saying my daughter's sick. I'm 10,000 miles away. I get another phone call saying you got to close on your property today. And I'm on another phone call with a judge trying to figure out why my lawyer just got kicked out of the state. And I just lost all my bread, and I got to hire another lawyer. Like, it's just life. It's just life. That's what's going to happen out here, and you just have to always be ready for that. You always have to be ready for that and always have your head on straight, because let's be honest, I'm going to be real. This job takes care of my livelihood. I can't afford not to be able to play well and still live and sustain. I can't pay for my house if I don't have my job. If I don't perform well under these circumstances, I will not be able to continue to get paid at the rate that I need to get paid to be able to buy new lawyers, to be able to buy and construct my home. Like this is people's livelihoods. That's why I've taken my mind into another perspective of just personal development and understanding that I have to start really developing myself and don't only think of myself as just a basketball player, but I am a great human being. I'm a great man. I'm a leader. I'm more than just a basketball player. And I have to really go within myself to find all of the attributes that God has given me to be able to become more than what I am, because life requires more of you to be able to earn the right to have what it wants to give you. To be able to earn what life has to give you, you have to constantly work on yourself. And the beautiful thing about being a professional basketball player is that to make it here, you have to have done some things of discipline. You have had to have been a certain type of disciplined player and enough to at least get the opportunity. So it's what we're used to. It's what we're accustomed to. We're accustomed to getting up and working out and going and train and doing those things. If we apply those same traits to life, they will be able to help us move further. The discipline part of getting up and working out, the discipline part of I'm going to read and study and focus on a new craft to help me with my life as far as money management skills, as far as picking up another skills for when I put the ball down, of learning business, learning about myself, tapping into my visualization, tapping into my meditation, tapping into my mind, having the opportunity to become more of the person that I am aspiring to be, because I have these traits of being a pro, of dealing with pressure, using basketball the same way. I heard Steve Kerr say one time, you could tell a lot by a person by the way they play basketball. How you prepare as a basketball player is how you will prepare in life. If you are so mediocre, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say if you're just mediocre or whatever, because everything is different for everybody. But majority of the time, most of the guys that are really good really have a different lifestyle because they've worked hard there. Look at a player that came from a lower level school. They are the best examples of what you can do as a person, because to come from a lower level school, you have to put in a lot of work and you have a lot of determination and a lot of grit and a lot of grind to even make it as a pro, even as an overseas pro, and survive 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, because you're starting from a lower totem pole. You're starting at the bottom of the bottom. So you're going to have to work overtime. You're going to have to grind, and you're going to have to really put in those traits, and that energy does not go untapped. You use that to transfer into something else that can propel your life further. Use that into, okay, maybe you know what, I think I'll start looking for a new skill to have. You know what, maybe I have to read a book every single day. You know what, that's the same thing as me getting, I love to use this expression, it's like getting shots up. I'm going to go get shots up today. If you tell a basketball player, let's go get some shots up, that ain't nothing. Hey man, let's go get a little workout and let's go get some shots up. Let's go run. Let's go get a run in. Let's go play real quick. Same thing. Let's go get some shots up. Let's go read this book real quick. Let me go read a few pages. I'm going to get a few shots up. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to watch an informational video. I just love to go into the perspective of understanding that don't come and arrive here or arrive to, I've made it to a pro, and forget about life. Forget that you are still constantly growing and advancing yourself to be a person, just leveling up yourself. Leveling up yourself. Don't forget that life exists outside of this. Don't forget that you are on a constant journey of life to become better than you were the day before. And it's only a journey with you against yourself at all times. A lot of guys get caught up in the life and forget that. You forget that, you know what, I'm supposed to be working on myself just as much as I work on my game. We get so infatuated by the basketball part and the overseas and the pro life, and we forget about our personal life, our personal self, our personal growth, and our personal ascension. We forget that we're supposed to be striving as human beings, just to be better. And basketball is just a tool to help us get these habits that helps us grow into more than what we can be or what we are supposed to be. Don't get so distracted about, I'm just out here. Life comes in all shapes and forms, but no matter how it comes at you, how you're prepared to handle it and how you're prepared to keep going when oppositions and when different aspects and struggles or whatever come your way, how you handle that. How you handle that is what you prepare yourself for. Are you constantly preparing yourself for whatever happens, if it happens? I would rather be prepared for if something happens than not be prepared for, and if it does happen. I want to be prepared either way. I don't want to just wake up one day and something happens and I'm not prepared for it. Being in position for when an opportunity comes. I think they say success is when opportunity meets success. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. And really, I believe opposition. Success is really when preparation meets opportunity or opposition. Because sometimes it be the moments that we feel like that is a struggle or something that is against us is be what really takes us to the next level, because we were prepared for it. We were prepared to handle that situation. We didn't take it lightly, not on the court or off the court. And this is that I always like to come and speak of a person that's going through a journey of life, of just understanding that when the oppositions come, they're going to come so much. People be looking at me like, man, you got to do this. Hey, man, that count it all joy. That's a blessing. The opposition is just an opportunity for me to show how successful I'm going to be in this process of life, on the court, off the court, just constantly tapping into the greater part of me that will allow me to be better than I was the day before, better than I was a week before, just constantly growing and ascending to the next level. Constantly trying to have this growth mindset of trying to become more than I am or were the day before, or just the moments before, or just a constant growth. And that's just part of life that we can never forget once we touch this life or become pros. These thoughts that we have, these moments that we go through, are just ripples in the wind, ripples in the water of who we can possibly be, of who we're constantly changing and forming into at an everyday basis. I like to sit back and just think of my life sometime and wonder, like, man, it's so easy to sit back and be like, man, why is all this happening to me? I just want to, what's the Mike Beasley joint? I just want to play basketball. I just want to play. Oh, man. Don't count yourself short to think that basketball is the only thing that makes you who you are in this life. That makes you who you are. And that's why it's so important, I believe, to find some people that you could really trust in this life. You got to find people who you can really trust and keep those around. Keep them around. Keep the people around you that has your best interest in mind. And when I say people that you trust, I mean the people that you could talk to, or people that will be willing to tell you when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's a person I can trust. A person that is not afraid to tell me, hey, you messing up. Hey, you need to get right. I don't think that's really a good idea. Regardless of what they feel like, oh, I might be in my feelings about it. Good. A lot of times we get in our feelings about the things that we know that we should be changing. I'm the first one to admit to that. I get in my feelings a lot about certain things that I know I should change. Maybe I should let this go. Maybe I shouldn't hold on to this someone. Maybe I shouldn't let this affect me so much? It's a constant process. That's why you need good people, good counsel, especially as men. We need good counsel of men. I think it was the book Way of the Superior Man. It was like, keep a good counsel of men around you. Keep a good counsel of people around you that you can trust, that when you're over here and you're away or whatever the situation of in life that you're in, you got people that can steer you down. Hey, bro, I think that you shouldn't do that. I think that, I was talking about Big Deuce when me and him, I go to his, I'm going to put him out a little bit. He ain't going to like this, but I'm going to talk about Big Deuce for a little bit. That's my best friend. We've been best friends for 16 years. That don't just happen by accident. That is a person that I can trust. That is a person that I can rely on. And he knows anytime if I am critiquing him, if I am on him, it is only for one reason. It is because I want what's best for him. And he trusts me that no matter what I'm saying to him, no matter if he don't like it, no matter if it may bother him, he know it is for a reason, that I am trying to because I only want what's best for him. I only want him to succeed. I only want him to have the best life humanly possible. And those are the type of people that you need around you all the time. People that you can trust. People that got your back. People that's going to tell you that you're doing wrong. People that, you know what, you don't have to always say something. They can see when something is going wrong. And they can see when you need something and come to you and look out for you. Hey, bro, I see something. I see, you know what? Let's go out and get something to eat real quick, bro. I could tell you a little off. I could tell things are bothering you a little bit. You know what? Let's go chill. Let's go to the movies or something. Let's go hang out. True friends, you don't have to say nothing. They can look at you at one moment and say, you know what? I know something's off. Let me get you right, bro. Let's go. People you could trust. People that you know what, I don't have to. It is a beautiful thing when you can find somebody that you say, you know what, I don't have to worry about them. How many people in your life that you can really say, you know what, I don't really have to worry about them. I know they got me. I don't care what nobody say. I know this person right here got me. How many people can you really put on your hand? How many people can you count that you could say that, you know what, no matter what, I know they got me. I know they'll never cross me. I know they always have my best interests at heart. I know that I can trust this person with my life. I know that it will help me. I know that no matter what, they always got me. How many people can you really look at in your life and say, no matter what, I know if anything ever happened, they got me. Not because you're relying on them, but you know that this is my dog. They got me. And I got them. You ain't got to ask no questions. You leave something, they picking it up. You drop, anything happen, hey bro, I got a house for you to stay. I got a place. You need some money. You need somebody to talk to. You need to do whatever it is without question. That's the type of person that I need in my life, that, you know what, that's the type of people that I believe that you should always search for, that I don't have to say nothing. They just know what to do. They're going to look out for me. Get people who look out for you without you have to ask them to look out for you. I don't have to tell you to do something for me, because you are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm good. How many people you got in your life? No matter what, without question, you don't got to ask them to do nothing for you. That's the type of life that's the type of what I like. The people I need in my life, I don't got to ask you. You already know I got you. What you even wasting your time talking for? I got you. I trust you with everything. You ain't even got to ask. Why do you even think you have to ask? I know you. I rock with you. I love you. I got you. You don't even have to ask. Say no more. I have one of my teammates. I ain't going to say his name. I ain't going to put that too much out there like that. Too much of his business. But it just reminded me of a situation that he was in. He was telling me. He was like, bro, I had a girl I was dating for 7 years. 7 years. He was dating this girl for 7 years. She gave him a call. She said, hey, we have a problem. He was playing for the national team. He was in another country. He was playing. And his girl Text him. Now, picture this. And she said, I need you to go take a test. Like, a test for, like, I don't know. Some kind of VD test. I need you to go take a test. He's like, why? She's like, because I got something. And I've only been with you. So I need you to go take this test. He went and took the test. He was clean. He didn't say nothing. He just sent her the papers. She blocked him. 7 years. After 7 years, you think you know somebody. You think you got certain people in your corner, in your back that can look out for you. 7 years. And after 7 years, this is the treatment that you get from them. Those are not the people that you need in your life. The audacity. The audacity. Not those people. And I know he wouldn't mind me because I'm not saying his name, but he wouldn't mind me sharing that. But it just goes to show you, like, bro, keep your circle tight. Make sure you have the right people in your circle, because not everybody's out here for you. If you have to constantly be telling somebody to look out for you, if you have to tell somebody to look out for you, they're not looking out for you. My people, you ain't got to tell me. I got you. You ain't got to tell me to do nothing. I got you. That's how it should be. At least in my book. It's crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy. I ain't gonna stay there too long. But I'm gonna just say, keep good people around you. Keep good people around you. Watch your circle closely. Watch the people that you keep around you. Moving on to some basketball situations, because this is a basketball overseas podcast. So I like to touch in on just some things. The Jabari Parker video that's been floating around on Instagram. I was going to wait to talk about this with Big Deuce, because we're going to do another episode, and I'd like to talk and have the conversation with him, but I guess I'll go ahead and touch on it right now. The Jabari Parker, and by the time y'all seen this, it's probably been out for a while, but everybody was talking about the whole Jabari Parker situation, that he was crying and what was it, somebody with an interview gave him an interview after a game or something, and he just started breaking down when they asked him about going for the NBA and going to play overseas. And as I was talking to my fellow teammates and people, they felt like, what are you crying for? What are you crying for? It's like, you got to play in the NBA. You was the number 2 pick. You playing in Euro League. That's the second highest league after the NBA. So you're living pretty much still the NBA lifestyle. You're just doing it overseas. Euro League is pretty much NBA lifestyle. You're just doing it overseas. And the concept of what I got from other people, how they perceived it, was that he was being, like, I don't want to say ungrateful, but he was being like, this is so much and it's so difficult to live this life of playing overseas basketball, and he had to come here instead of being inside of the NBA, and it was difficult for him. I didn't see it that way. I saw it that he was just happy that he was still able to play basketball, pretty much. And regardless of still making it to the NBA, he still had an opportunity to still play basketball, because at the end of the day, if you're playing basketball, you're just a lover of the game. Regardless of what level that you play on, you're still a lover of the game. Like, you seen the clip of KD inside of the club. KD was playing basketball. He was in the club and somebody caught a video, and he was just over there doing his form shots in the middle of the club. Why? Because the love of basketball for basketball players don't go away from since you're a kid. Kevin Durant's a Hall of Famer, and he's still in the club doing form shots, working on his midi, because you still love the game. And then the story came out, or he made like a quote saying the reason that he was crying because he was just so overwhelmed with joy and compassion that he still got to be able to play the game of basketball. And thank God that overseas basically had an option for him to continue his game, because he wouldn't have still been able to play in the league anymore, but he was still able to play the game that he loved. There were tears of gratitude, not tears of, I'm not going to be able to play in the league no more, I'm not playing in the league no more, and I used to be this and that, but thank God I still get to play. Thank God this world exists that I still get to go and show my skills. And he was more grateful for the fact that he was still able to play. That's what I got out of it, and that's basically what he came from saying that. Like, thank God I can still play, and I'm just grateful that I was still able to play basketball because of, I believe he had a couple of torn ACLs or something. Like, he had a crazy story, like, kept getting injured. I don't really know the whole Jabari situation. I know he got injured a few times, and he came out number 2 after Zion. Was that Zion he came out? No, it definitely wasn't Zion. He came out way before that. Who was not? Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was first. He came out as number 2. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was gonna come out and be the next Carmelo Anthony. The way he was coming out from college, his moves, the way he hooped, I thought, oh yeah, this is the next Carmelo. The way he played, and then you got to think about a person that's been on that. Even though he was at number one coming out of high school, went to Duke, number 2 overall pick, and then now you're overseas. Instead of being like, oh, I'm not in the league no more, and I'm just so sad that I can't. Hey, I get to still play basketball. I'm just grateful, and it brings me to tears that I still get to play basketball. I still get to go play basketball. I still get to play at a high level. I still get to earn great money. I still get an opportunity. That it brought me to tears of just the opportunity to be able to play the game. Don't take nothing in his life for granted. That's what I got from it. That's what he was basically saying. And I appreciate him for coming out and letting people know, like, hey, you can't take this life for granted. You cannot take this life for granted. This basketball life, this overseas life, you just can't take it for granted because you never know what can happen. Shoot, I had an injury. Had surgery. Doctor told me you will never be able to play again. I know I talked about it a few times, but they say you will never be able to play basketball again. You will never be able to play basketball again. Yet I'm right now playing basketball in the playoffs, looking for my 8th championship. That'll bring you to tears. Just the person's struggle to be able to bounce back from things, that will bring you to tears. And that was just my take on it. I believe that was just my take on, what he's going through in as far as that situation. And I believe sometimes people don't take stories out of context before you know exactly what a person's thinking. So many people just, you have all the, people confuse money and status for mindset and true emotions of what a person's really going through. Just because you're in the NBA or made it and was second round and all that does not exempt you from feeling like gratefulness and overcoming something. We all got our things to overcome at every level of life. No matter if you got money, no matter if you're the poorest person on the planet or you're the richest person on the planet. We all have something that we have to overcome and fight, and we all have our processes in life. And that's what I just got from his take from his processes in life of where he's been and what he's been through and all the situations on that. We'll go on. I ain't gonna stay on there too long. Show your film. Show your film. Today's age, hell, you watching this on YouTube right now or listening to it or whatever the case is, because I'm promoting myself. I am promoting myself at all times because I want to achieve greater things in life. That's why I created this podcast. To help out all the basketball players coming into this world, all the ones who want to learn about the overseas pro, learn what the mindset is like, learn what a normal person goes through, to build a bridge of understanding to let you know that, hey, you're only going to get to see all the pros, the people in the limelight, the No Chill Gills, the Podcast P. You're seeing the people at the highest level from their perspective. What about the guys on your level? They are I wouldn't say the anomalies, but they're the 1%ers. What about the 99%? The 99% of people that's actually going to play overseas. The salaries you make, how you get on, what you got to do to have a good long career. 99% of people are not going to make it to where Jabari Parker is playing in the EuroLeague. That's just facts. Game ain't just like that. Well, is it possible? Of course it's possible. Anything's possible. Is it likely? Is it probable? Probably not. There's nothing wrong with that. What can you do to further your career at the level of where you're at? Because, like I said in the beginning, this is just a job. But it can be a very good job, a very lucrative job. Sometimes you could just be get you a steady salary or get you work to a point to where you're making very good money until a great opportunity comes. Because it really only takes 1 or 2 good contracts to change your whole life. And you've made more money in your first 6-7 years in one contract than you've made from all those years previous. Sometimes it's just waiting it out. I talked about this I don't even know how many episodes back, about one guy. He was in Europe for probably 10-12 years. One season, his team played well, they won the championship, they got invited to a EuroLeague they got to play against the EuroLeague because this was in Europe. I guess their team got moved up. Normally they always get, when lower teams get moved up to play against like Euro Cup teams and EuroLeague teams, they normally get thrashed. They normally get demolished. However, this just took that one time. Their team beat a EuroLeague team. This player, I can't remember his name, he went crazy, did well. He got signed for a EuroLeague team. Contract was like $250,000. Changed his whole life. Previously, before that, he averaged probably about $3,000 $3,000 to $5,000 a month per contract, 10-12 years. That's a fairly decent player. If you can average $3,000 to $5,000 for your entire career, you were a pretty decent basketball player. You was able to make a pretty decent living from what you're doing. And then it just took that one moment, boom, signed for 2 years in EuroLeague, $250 a year. Now you just went from 10 to 12 years. If you add that up, if you just average the base average of let's just say 4,000 for 8 months average. Not let's just be 8 months average. That's what 4 times 8. That's 32. 32 times 10. What's that? 320,000 over 10 years. Over 10 years, and then one season you get 250. For two years, 250 each year. So in 2 years you go from, and when you do 320, you gotta realize you're still living, and that's 8 months out of the year. So the other months, if you're not playing and you're not earning money, you're spending through all that. So this is like with living expenses. I'm not counting all that. I'm just counting gross or money made, not what you gotta use and spend and live off of. Because $4,000 a month is a good job. You're definitely not rich, and you're barely still, the way inflation and everything's going up, you're not living no crazy lifestyle unless you're just no kids, don't have no other bills. You live at home with your parents still, or relatives, or your rent. There's a lot of factors to earn a lot from that type of money. And if you're 10 years, you're probably then grew up, had kids, whatever. And then in 1 year, you sign for 200, 250, 2 years, 500, $500,000, get one contract, 800,000. Though that's possible because you survived long enough to be able to get that. At all times, something can happen. That's why you got to be constantly promoting yourself. You got to use these social medias. You got to use IG. One of my teammates right now, he just been posting his, he's been hanging out with us a lot, and he's been seeing us on our content creation journey and making content and doing this and constantly posting our film and stuff. And he posted one of his film. And since we've been in the playoffs, he's been talking to different agents. He has been talking to, like, mad people have been hitting him up from Japan, from Middle East. All these people have just been constantly contacting. Why? He's putting his film, he's putting himself out there, he's representing himself. No one will work harder on your career than you will. You are your biggest agent, you are your biggest promoter, you are your stylist, you are everything. The further you want to get in this game, it really depends on what you're willing to do. You can't wait for an agent to make you film. You can't wait for someone to make you highlights. You can't wait to promote yourself. You have to be constant. Oh, I don't like to really post that much. Get over that. What you want to do, you have to use every single thing at your disposal to be able to move further in this game. To get something. Hey, son, I know some guys who signed in Japan and they was on their team in the FIBA was terrible. They was getting beat by 30, 40, 50. But guess what? You watch his highlights, you couldn't tell. All you seen was FIBA stage and somebody going crazy. All you see is playoff basketball and somebody going crazy. And what do you know? Boom, sign, go to a top league or a pretty good country, or go to like Japan. I think he ended up going to Japan, having an amazing career, amazing season, signed him again, won a championship, got picked up to go to another big name team in Uruguay, won a championship again, all because he just kept promoting himself. And I said, hey bro, I had to hit him up. Hey bro, who's your agent? Who hit you up? How you know what I mean? I'm trying to get to Japan too. He was like, bro, I just pretty much got on by myself because I just kept posting my film on Instagram, and somebody saw it and hit me up, and I just got the deal. Don't sleep on posting yourself. Don't sleep on making your film and posting it on IG. Go game for game. Post everything. Post all the time. Even though people don't hit that like button, they're watching. Even though it may say 200-300 views, they're watching. We're in the era now where people just like to look and creep and don't say nothing and just watch from the side and don't like to talk and just stuff, but they watching. I'm not going to hit the like button, but I'm going to watch it. I ain't going to say nothing, but I'm going to watch it. It's just the era we in. So I'm saying all that because there's so much opportunities in just promoting yourself. And I guarantee you'll see a dramatic difference in you promoting yourself than the times that you don't promote yourself. Like, yes, you can have a good agent and good opportunities, and things will happen the more you're in the game and long enough. But let that be because you've actively taken the steps to allow yourself to be successful. That's what Instagram and social media is pretty much really all for. It's all marketing and showing yourself and promoting yourself so you can get better opportunities in life. Why not use it at your disposal? Especially as pro basketball players, you have to use that. That is your best friend. Social media right now is your best friend. Not because you get to see old girl and you see some cakes or whatever and all this debauchery, but it's a place for where you can progress in life. You can actually grow from here and put yourself in a better position in life. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys if I was not trying to put myself in a better position for life. All this adds to me putting myself in a better position for life, for me, for my daughter, for my opportunity, for my life. All these things add up. Why would you not want to put yourself in a better position? You have a free tool that you can use. It just shows you the power of social media and what it can do for you and how it can change your life if you just understand I have to promote, I have to post, I have to put these things out here in order to be able to get a better opportunity. To be able to get a better opportunity. Moving on, man. Moving on. I ain't gonna stay on that too long. I'm making a movie over this whole. But if you guys go on my channel, look up Path to the Finals. Path to the Finals. I made a documentary. It wasn't really a documentary. It was just like a bunch of vlogs that I just decided to put together. I never finished it. I'm gonna say that. I never finished the documentary or the vlog. I went game for game of the finals in 2022. I made it to the finals and I went game for game. And I pretty much vlogged each game and it kind of made like this long series. I went game for game, then I did game 3 and 4 together, and I never finished game 5 and 6 where we won the last 2 to win the championship. You ask me why? Life hit, I never finished it, but Path to the Finals. I made like 4 or 5 vlog series of that if you guys want to check that out. Path to the Finals. That gave me an idea to say, you know what is going on right now this season, because I have the same sensation of what's going on now towards the end of the season. And I said, you know what? I have to document this. So I'm trying to make the first, I'm not going to say the first because I know there's other overseas basketball documentaries and movies and people who have put it out there. But I'm trying to make something no one's ever seen before. It's basically going to be in the Last Dance format. It's going to be kind of like the Last Dance, but it's strictly the playoff run because there's just so much craziness that's happened this entire season. And it just feels right. Instead of making each vlog for vlog, I'm making just one whole playoff run from start to finish, from the beginning of the playoffs to the last game, to ultimately getting to the championship, the final. Of course, that is the whole concept of the movie, is making it to the finals and winning the finals. We are in great position right now. It's day for day, hour for hour, step for step. But I'm just saying, I'm making a movie of the journey of what's going on this playoff run. What's going on this playoff run. So I just want you guys to be ready for that. I don't know when it's going to drop. I don't know when it's going to come out. All I know is on the ATP network, there is going to be a movie. I want you guys to be ready for that. I'm putting all I am. It's the first time I ever made a movie. I never in my life will ever think that, you know what, I'm going to make a movie. But guess what? We're on the network. So you know what? I'm going to make a movie and put it on this network. This is everything overseas basketball. And you're going to get the behind the scenes of seeing what's going on, the coaches, the how people live, just a different perspective of what really goes on. There's just so much things that's going on that people will never even know. I'm bringing you all that. And I'm so excited for that. It's like, as you just grow and you evolve and just start to see things and change, and I'm like, man, it's working out so beautifully right now. And I'm so grateful to be making this movie, man. I'm hyped about it. I can't wait till I put it out. Who knows when it's going to come out? I know it's going to come out within the next year for sure, because I never made a movie before, and I want to make it as the best best I can possibly do. You know, so y'all stay tuned for that, man. That's all I got for this segment, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys stuck around long enough to just hear me rave and rant sometimes and talk about the life. That's all it's about. Just putting in perspective of the life of what a person goes through when they're over here. And to just know that you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. We're all living the same life of overseas basketball. We're all just trying to understand how we navigate. We normally get that by listening to the perspective of someone who's actually in the lifestyle that what you are aspiring to be, or wanting to be, or are already in. So this is what I'm trying to do, is just give you guys, just, you know, we all out here, you need that. We need that camaraderie. We need that togetherness. So that's all I got for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please share this with someone who wants to play basketball one day, just wants to learn the life of overseas basketball. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got for this episode. Till next time, guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.